No problem.
So now now ask Bhuteswari, Dr. Bhuteswari to start.
Honorable President and Convener of Manipur for Sakti and Sid, and lastly, all the participants present here. With Professor Okram Ratnabala Devi, Department of Mathematics, Manipur University, faculty members of Manipur University, faculty members of different colleges, administrators of Science Week. I, Dr. Bhuteswari Khangembam, Faculty of Environmental Science, Tamenglong College, on behalf of Manipur Sakti with and Seed will Devi, Department of Maths, MU, for sparing her precious time in delivering lecture on the topic, Why do we study mathematics? I welcome all participants present here. And accounting, banking, engineering, and software. None of this would be possible without the existence of mathematics. Every single of life requires the knowledge of study mathematics. Now, I request Dr. Devi Ahom, Faculty of Environmental Science, Manipur College, to introduce our resource person, Professor Ratnabala.
I will read out a brief biodata of Professor Ratnabala Devi. Okram Ratnabala Devi, presently working as a professor in the Department of Mathematics, Manipur University, was born on with first class first. She joined the Department of Mathematics, Manipur University on August 1998 as assistant professor and completed her service PhD in 2007 from the same department. Her research areas are on ring theory, especially algebraic 115 under her guidance, and presently 3 scholars are working under her guidance. She has published 13 research papers in whatever. Indian Science Congress Association and Indian Mathematics Society. She has been involved in various administrative capabilities of the university. Now, I request Professor Ratnabala Devi to give presentations.
It will be better if I can.
The slide as
Yeah. That is why. So allow me to share the slide.
okay.
Okay.
I'll leave this slide sharing.
Yeah. Okay.
Please try to share the slide.
Okay. Why they are not allowing me? You must grant permission. Can't share your screen, no? It is given. I'm saying I'm trying to get a full screen of my system, and it is said I can't share your screen. You must grant permission in order to screen share. So I have to take the permission, it seems.
There should be one option to grant the permission from your system.
Yeah?
There should be one option to grant the permission to share the screen. Should be popped up
Okay.
when you try. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Hello. हाँ ओके देखता हूँ. ꯑꯗꯣ ꯃꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯁꯇꯦꯝꯗ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯤ. Madam Ratnabala.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be trying to share the PPT from this slide.
Okay,
I'll tell
please.
you when it's ready. Please.
Okay, please share from your end. Yeah, Okay, so can I start?
Yes, yes. Please.
Okay, so your yeah. So at the beginning, I'd like to thank Professor Asagupta for giving me this opportunity to speak on some topics in my area. And when she has given me this opportunity, I thought that something it is for all of us to now understand what is the importance of studying mathematics presently in these days. So first of all, let me talk about what is mathematics. The study of the relationship among the quantities, magnitudes, properties, and also of the or it can also be taught as a study of the quantity, structure, space, and the chains. Historically, it was considered a science of quantity, whether it may be of magnitude, as we can talk in geometry, and it may be of numbers that we can talk in arithmetics, or of the generalization of these two fields. So please go to the next slide. Discipline that deals with the data, that deals with the measurements, observations from science, analysis, proof, and with mathematical models of natural phenomena of human behavior or social systems. So mathematics is now a field, a discipline where it has intersected many of the diverse disciplines. Importance of mathematics can be found in really about the world around us, and also the reasoning skills that help one to solve problems and look for solutions. So please go to the next slide. So, and the opening years of the 21st century have been a remarkable ones, the years for the development of the escalator. Okay. Right, the escalator. Okay, so the ongoing trend of mathematical sciences to play an essential role in physical sciences and biological sciences and engineering, medicine, economics, finance, and social science. The application in these areas had been expanding dramatically. So please go to the next slide. So it has grown. So when we talk of the security of the nation, we are involving many of the mathematical ideas and tools which will be used to develop the security of the country. A striking feature of this expansion has been a parallel expansion in all kinds of material science ideas that are being used. So next slide, please. So the importance of mathematics and technology and engineering maths in November 2009. So he also honored the science and mathematics teachers with the prestigious presidential award during his tenure. So please, so this shows that how important mathematics. So Robert Zimmer, a mathematics science, one of the fabric that if it is very healthy, strong, connected throughout the whole, then it will be tailored and woven in many ways. So once you can have a very basic and strong foundation of mathematics, then it can be made into, or it can be woven into many ways. And if it is disconnected, then its usefulness has got a lot of limitations. So he also by or bordering areas that it has intersected. For example, finance, for example, economics, for example, biological sciences or medical sciences. So all these areas, mathematics can play a big role. So if we are aware of these things, we can do a lot of things. So please go to the next slide. So let me separately. So mathematical science can now function as a complex ecosystem. Ideas and techniques move back and forth. Innovations at the core radiate out into applied areas, flowing back to the new mathematical problems. Then concepts are drawn forth to the problems arising in application. Developed and then applied to the emerging areas. So please go to the next slide. So what is the need of the hour that we have at present is that in order to have or solidify the gains out of the study of the mathematics or mathematical sciences, too many of the mathematical sciences become unaware, still are unaware of the expanding role of the field. And so in order to so at the universities is very needed at the moment. So please go to the next slide. So mechanisms we have to involve, we have to develop mechanisms to connect the researchers outside the mathematical scientists. It has to be improved a lot. The number of students now being attracted to the field is very much low, is inadequate to meet the demands of the future. So since we are may not be appropriate, may not be adequate for in order to meet the demands of the future. So please go to the next slide. So what I mean to say is that we need a lot of things to do for attracting the students to these particular subjects, right from the school level. Please continue to the slides, please. Okay, so next slide. Next slide. So a more difficult period is portion for the mathematical sciences because the kind of education, the kind of teaching that we have been Yeah, so let me continue. Then why is a very compelling and curiosity of asking on any situation why has a long history of leading to important new developments. So in mathematics, actually, there's this question: why is researchers are struck by the rightness, inevitability, and simplicity, naturalness of the new insights. So it occurs very natural to to the person who is doing mathematics. Maybe he is aware or unaware of doing mathematics, but he is doing it for his necessities, for his demands. So shopping or for some essential items for the household works, then the consumer, that means myself and the shopkeeper, actually will do a lot of mathematics skillfully. Also, while I am trying to maintain my family budget, I'm doing a lot of applying a lot of mathematics. And also, while I'm keeping a proper diet, always use the ideas of mathematics. Also in farming, how we can see that the farmer actually applying a lot of ideas in mathematics by just simply look at the by looking at the how the his or her production may be maximized in actually problems are a part of the optimization problem. So all these things, whether you go in the market, whether you are maintaining the family budget, whether you are trying to keep a proper diet of the family, or whether you are standing in a queue, or whether in agriculture, farming, you are all using the kind of mathematics that is optimizing theory. So please come to the next slide. To personalities, Jim Simmons and the Frank Young. Jim Simmons is a mathematician and Frank Young is a physicist, and they were discussing about some topic on elementary particles in physics. So Simmons gave a foundation for a very successful career shift into finance to Young, and he said that you don't do that. And so this shows that how mathematics had been advanced in those days also. So we now are coming to the next slide. So how mathematics has intersected various disciplines, as I have said in the beginning. So for example, music has a lot of music theory, musical set theory, in which we're applying the mathematical set theory and structure of a piece of a tone, or what to say, between the two tunes will be not disturbed, etc. So all those conditions, all those things about we see in mathematics are used heavily in the music compositions. Was I mean, for whole year 2020 we have been only the year have been defined by COVID-19 pandemic. So to answer questions like how quickly infection spreading, how what fraction of transmission must be during this epidemic, this COVID-19 pandemic. So how we will answer it? Let's see. So next slide. Okay, so rigorous mathematical analysis with underlying ecology, evolutionary biology, or epidemiology helps to understand infectious disease spread. Infectious disease modelers are from mathematical sciences. Neil Ferguson of Imperial College was advisor to the UK government on COVID-19 response, was a mathematical scientist. Victoria College of Sorbonne University in Paris is also a leader of network modeling of disease spread. So one of the mathematical scientists, some of those models, they can serve and allies as allies in communicating those ideas to the public. The number, which has the unitless number known as the reproductive number, R naught, defined as the average number of the new cases or the secondary infections caused by a typical infected individual in a susceptible population, describes how infectious a given pathogen is, and then we will be showing that we will be observing that the control or the what to say, how we can those questions that we have asked at the beginning will be now easily answered. So please come to the next slide. If the disease spread is in a condition. So there we have involved a system which is a dynamical system. So the system will be unstable or will be stable, and under what conditions it becomes stable, when it will become stable, etc. We can also can see from the equations and their solutions. If the spread is just a capture as just a series of things, we can have a lot of readings by using this value on R naught. So let us come to the next slide. So actually R naught depends on the product of the three factors. First is the contact rate, the second is the transmissibility, and the third is the infection rate, or by reducing the transmissibility factor, or by reducing the infection duress. So the methods to reduce this component, each component has become now social distancing for the first
factor, and the wearing mask for the second factor, and also the microclearing therapies for the third factor, that is playing a big place to the. Despite these limitations, knowing the disease reproductive number is still useful in an outbreak. For example, Stephen Kissler and Kristen Derizanto at Harvard University found that an estimated value of R naught at the beginning in the US was 2.2, and they have observed that there is a need to reduce their context by 60% according to the capacity in the ICUs, and according to how much control we can make for the social distancing side. And also in the Oxford University, people have calculated the estimated value of R naught is 2.0, and for this testing in the context, they have initially calculated the value of R naught was very extremely high, 5.3 something, but after making all those control methods, they have come down to the value of R naught to 1 point something. So that was actually experimentally verified things that we have observed. So please to the next slide. Two factors, one number and the one itself, and factorization of these numbers into the primes have played a role in underpinning of internet commerce. Then Riemann's notion of geometry and curvature becomes the are used in video games and tracking satellites. Please to the next slide. So we can, okay, so we can see that mathematics already is all around us. As we see our environment, our surrounding, we can discover that nature can be described mathematically. The beauty of a flower, the majesty of a tree, even the rocks upon which we walk can exhibit the sense of symmetry. Then, although there are examples to be found in crystallography, even at microscopic level of nature. Shapes in nature. So this is a beehive. This consists of hexagonal wax cells. So it was considered that, and it has been discussed by many of the scientists, that because of the very structure of hexagonal type, that all the it's also because of, or in order to have the maximum benefit in the human life. And the next slide. Also, we find the parallel lines numbers, a sequence of numbers known as the Fibonacci sequence. So we start with 1, then the next also 1, then I add these two things, that becomes 2, and again I add these two consecutive terms, I will get 3, and then I add these two consecutive terms, I'll get 5 with nature. So we can trace the diagonals of squares whose sides are of length 1, 1, and then 2, 3, 5, etc. So keep on enlarging the squares and their diagonals, and you just try to connect the diagonals. You trace a curve that curve becomes a spiral. The members of the nut cell, please come to that slide, next slide. Chamber of the nut cell, you can see that the very corner, the central, it has been, now we draw two squares of length 1 each, and join their diagonals, and then you draw a bigger square, and then you draw the diagonal and another bigger square. So how much a Fibonacci spiral. So Fibonacci spiral actually occurs just like our ear in the eardrum. See, you can see the human ear, so you can see this Fibonacci spiral do really exist in nature. The number of seeds along that spiral will be a Fibonacci number. So let's come to the next slide. Even we look at this pineapple, the cell of the pineapple, you see that all those this uh, uh, first one, it becomes, there are five cells, then 8 cells, and then 13 cells. So 8, 5, 30, 5, 8, 13, they are all Fibonacci numbers. So next slide. We can also see the Fibonacci numbers in the plants. You can see on the right hand side also, you can count the number of leaves on a plant. The first leaf, which was downwards, now you keep on counting other leaves also, and the moment I reach the next leaf, which is of the same direction, which is of the same shape, which in the same direction, then what is maths behind other sciences? The eigenvectors, that is a very critical portion of mathematics. They are now a basis of the Google famous space rank algorithms. Again, also and the PET scans. So all these ideas have been used in the medical sciences as well as in internet connectivities also. Please to the next slide. How is the connection of this very mathematical science with other fields? You can see it has got intersection with various branches. And this is something that I have recorded from 1998 data. But when I
Ratnabala could not continue, but however, we appreciate the way she talked, elaborated about how mathematics is connected to the allied sciences, how it is useful. She has talked very beautifully that how, especially in this COVID time, because we I mean, very elaborately she has discussed about the spread of epidemics, that how the epidemics spread, the rate of its spread, how it can be controlled, what distance should be kept, many things, all these things which we are observing, like social distancing and others, science, which is a great branch of science in botany, in ecology, where people are studying through plant architecture, the biomass, the carbon which is deposited in the plants, and the carbon sequestration rate, etc. So she has that also. It is geometry, how it is used for MRI and other medical purposes. So how mathematical sciences is I mean interconnected with other sciences. It is the whole spiral, and without mathematics to have these qualities in them. So I mean, really, we require very good teachers. I think now I have great interest in mathematics because of my own nature. So Leslie metrics and others we have tried to apply. So I understand that if I have a teacher like Ratna Bala, maybe I may try to do something more application Women Science Association. She has contributed small articles. She has contributed, popular articles about women and other things, women mathematicians. And I mean, she's very sober, very honest, and happens to be his birthday, and on that day we have in India the National Mathematical Day we observe, and in Manmohan's time in 2012 it started. Now this Hardy Ramanujan number, what is there? There was one taxi and the number was 1729. It happens to be a simple number, ordinary number. Ramanujam said, no, it is not a ordinary number. It is not an ordinary number. It is very special number. And it is the smallest number which can be expressed as the sum of two different cubes in two different ways. So cube of 10 is 1000 and 9 is 728. So 1729. Then similarly, he said another number is 12 and 1. So the cube of 12 is 1728 and cube of 1 is 1. So in this way, the total becomes 1729. So this is mathematics which is engaging, entertaining to the student, then naturally the number which is very less in mathematics, it will not be there. And many more students, they will like to take mathematics, and we will have a number of mathematicians in future. So this was, I thank her, especially the mathematics behind epidemics, which we are talking COVID-19. Very, very interesting talk, very elaborate, and really I'm proud of you, and I'm very much thankful to you, Professor Ratna. Now I ask Dr. Sophia to give vote of thanks.
Take the opportunity to thank today's resource person, Professor Okram Ratna Valadevi, Department of Mathematics, Manipur University, for such a wonderful speech. We are truly enriched by your inspiring and faculty members of different colleges, Manipur universities, administrators, members of Manipur Sakti Society for Environmental Education and Development, and all the participants. Also, I would like to thank N. Santosh okay.